Hello.
Hi, John.
Hi, Merlin.
Sound good.
Well, it's early.
How'd you sleep last night?
I got some sleep. Today is the day that my sleep oxygenation mission is scheduled up in Issaquah.
Um, uh,
So
is this where you,
the,
it's early. You finally got the right thing scheduled with the right people at the right time for the right thing?
apparently.
This
Let's
is
see.
this is without respect to the Craigslist black market items.
Nope. This is a 3 p.m. appointment today. I'm headed up there. I was just sitting here reading an article in Psychology Today that someone sent me about highly sensitive people. Um,
Were they trying to help?
oh yeah.
Was
Yeah,
it a commentary?
Everybody's trying to help.
Huh.
And I'm wearing a sweatshirt, a zip-up hoodie, but without a shirt on underneath it, that's completely
hot look.
unprecedented.
Why are you doing that, John?
Well, I looked in the closet. We're in a transition period right now, of course, because
Because of the seasons.
the seasons are changing. Yeah.
Yeah. They're always
And
changing.
I took the short sleeve shirts out of the closet and put them in a bag, and so it's just long sleeve shirts now. But there's there's part of me that's just not ready. It's just not. I'm just not ready to go into long sleeve shirts, and so this felt like a compromise, and I don't know why. I don't know why it felt like it's not a compromise.
We have a lot of actual things to talk about here, so I don't want to open up a new thread. But
Sure.
at some point, I would like to discuss, for me personally, the importance of personal, climactic, and environmental management.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I feel like the long sleeve shirt is a big piece of that. I think we should each, you know what they say on the planes. So what they used to say is put on your own mask, before you help anybody else.
Oh, of course.
And I think
thought
a
you
long
meant the
sleeve
planes,
shirt,
like the American planes. I was like,
you mean like where the deer and the antelope play?
Yeah, is that a thing that they set out on the planes? Put on your own mask first.
Put on your own mask. Da-da-da-da. Yep. Eddie Fisher used to be out there.
I was like, wow, what an ancient phrase. I guess I don't know how they meant it.
It can mean a lot of things. Yes, transition.
Yes.
No, so far to Craigslist.
No,
Was there any special prep? Did you have to sometimes when they check your butt, you got to drink something, or you got to not have breakfast. Apart from having appearing shirtless under a sweatshirt, is there any other prep for your 3 p.m. appointment?
Well, the last time I had an appointment, I followed all their protocol. They sent me an email, check into your appointment now. And I was like, okay. I did all the stuff. Go to your MyChart. Okie dokie. And this time when I started getting those emails, sign in for your appointment, I was like, fuck you. And so now, because they lost my trust, Marlon.
They lost your trust. The people at MyChart lost your trust.
Yeah. The good people at MyChart lost my trust. And so now we are.
Maybe it'd be better if they just called it their chart.
Yeah, that's how I feel it. I feel it's
Absolutely.
their chart, not my chart.
Yeah.
You can call it my chart all day, but that doesn't make it my chart.
I mean, it sounds to me like basically you've agreed that if I agree to the terms and conditions of the EULA, then I'm allowed to you will lend me your chart, but I don't get to have my own chart. Really, it's the chart you feel like giving me this week.
That's right. If it was truly my chart, we would have started way back upstream. But also, if it were my chart, it would be incomplete, and it wouldn't.
Yeah, but that's part of it being your chart. I mean, if somebody handed you your Subway card and it was already all punched, then it wouldn't be a card. It would just be a free sandwich.
Free sandwich.
It's your journey, and it should be your chart. I'm sorry. I don't mean to derail this.
No.
And
it's okay.
3 o'clock. Okay, so they're not going to put the wires on you. This is the preliminary pre-check-in where somebody strokes their beard and asks you questions about your sleep patterns. Do you know? What do you anticipate happening at 3?
I'm going to drive up to Issaquah. Issaquah used to be a charming little mountain town. About 45 minutes to the east, right in the foot of the mountains. it was a cowboy town, and then it became a bedroom community for Microsoft employees.
Mm.
And so it went from so it ended up being like those towns in up there north of Sausalito, where it's like, this looks like a little town, except boy, there's a lot of money here. There's no money in a little town.
No money in a little town.
And so so it's become, and then there were all these crazy housing developments where they took a bunch of forest and they chopped it all down and they built McMansions right close to each other. It's the American story.
And this is Redmond adjacent?
No, it's further up. It's
maybe it's sort of similar, and I'm not going to try to drop too many names because you're way better at it than I am. But there's a thing that happens in the Bay Area, or has happened, as you can imagine, for some time, which is these charming small towns, or these like growing mid-sized towns or whatever, suddenly get this influx of people because for this month anyway, they could afford a house there or a rental there. Like there was an article in the paper 20 years ago about a janitor at Stanford who lived in I want to say Contra Costa County. but also that could go for, like San Jose used to be a nice little quiet town. Now, not so much. But so it's called Issaquah, is that right?
Issaquah, yeah. I feel like the area around the bay there, the city that rocks, the city that never stops, the city by the bay, the city that you literally built on rock and roll.
Did you know that originally that song was about Los Angeles?
Whoa.
They're kind of from the Marina Journey.
Yeah.
But, or Pack Heights maybe, but no, they're mostly in LA, man. And the original lyric, I'm going to blow your mind. You ready? When the lights go down in the city and the sun shines on LA.
Oh, dear.
Okay, how about that? How you feel about that?
It's terrible, but I was actually referencing the song by Jefferson, Starship, or I'm sorry.
Well, you were later, but at first you were talking about the city by the bay.
Oh, the city by the bay. Yeah, that's the city that rocks and that never stops.
Talking about Cleveland?
That's also a city that rocks, that they built on rock and roll. But no, I'm talking about your own city.
The city was gone.
It was.
Seneca
That's a
to
different
Cuyahoga
city.
Falls.
No,
Okay.
That's true. That's the same. No, it's a different. Boy, it's really hard to tell what she's talking about there.
They should be clearer about all this stuff. But you're not going there to meet, Steve Perry. I think. Does he have the Dennis DeYoung thing where he's afraid of lights? What's the thing where they had to get the Filipina fella to come in and be Steve Perry? Didn't they have to do a little switch him up because Dennis DeYoung's the one who's scared of lights, right?
I thought Dennis DeYoung got kicked out of Styx because he was
he was their Peter Cetera. That was part of the problem.
Yeah, he was just a bad. I thought he was a bad bandmate.
If you don't know who the Cetera in the room is, it's definitely you.
Ooh, God, what a curse!
Well, you mean talk to Pete. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like the thing about Steve Perry was just that, as happens to all of us, he couldn't hit the notes anymore.
Oh, is that right?
And he didn't want to go out and transpose all the songs down a step and a half. He had his millions and he wanted to just go gently. So,
so he'll always have "Oh Sherry."
You can't sing that. You can't sing that stuff when you're 70 years old. It's too high.
Yeah, that's tough. I'm doing it. I'm doing the head voice thing where you switch to a falsetto. Yeah. Steve Perry didn't used to always have to do that. He had that cool sleeveless shirt with like a tiger pattern on it.
Oh,
that was a good time for them. That was a good time.
I never liked him as a thing to watch, but I did like him as a thing to listen to.
They had that one record, a couple records where they crossed over. I think by the time they got to Escape, things were getting a little bit silly. But they had that period where they go from, I don't know the names of them. It's like, they all have a name. The names are always like a noun, right?
My deep knowledge of Journey is not that deep. Okay. I go sort of, I love the singles. I love the singles.
Oh, I'm telling you, man, you could go and put on one of those late 70s, early 80s. You could go, let's see. No, what's the good one? Escape is the pretty good one. That's the one with Open Arms. But before that, you got when Greg Raleigh still thought he was the singer. And so they do that 1-2 punch of bow now of Any Time. And what are the two songs? Yeah, they do the two songs.
I got no idea. I honestly have zero.
Okay, I'm sorry. I brought it up. I had a terrible night's sleep, John. I'm drinking three. No.
Oh,
because
that explains
somehow
so much.
the very wholesome topic
about the sleep study, and it's you want to talk about.
It was a backdoor topic.
Oh, tell me about your night of sleep.
No, it's okay. It's just that.
Did a lizard crawl on you? Did somebody drop a pan in the kitchen? No.
No one dropped a pan. Only British people can fly. This episode of Roderick on the Line is brought to you in part by Squarespace. You can learn more about Squarespace right now by visiting squarespace.com/supertrain. Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build your online presence and to run your business. From websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, they got you covered. Squarespace combines cutting-edge design and world-class engineering, making it easier than ever to establish your home online and to make your ideas a reality. Do it. If you will, it is no dream, they say, Squarespace has everything that you need to create a beautiful and modern website. You start out with a professionally designed template, and you use really easy drag and drop tools to make it your own. You can customize the look and feel, the settings, the products you have on sale, all this and much, much more with just a few clicks, maybe a couple drags. Real fun, real easy. All Squarespace sites are optimized for mobile, so your content automatically adjusts so it will look great on any device. You'll also get free unlimited hosting, top-of-the-line security, and dependable resources that will help you succeed. There's nothing to patch or upgrade ever. They have their award-winning 24/7 customer support if you need help, and they'll even let you quickly and easily grab a unique domain name. Plus, you'll have everything you need for SEO and email marketing to get your ideas out there. What do you do with Squarespace? What can't you do? You can make your big idea into your new site, showcase your work. You can have a blog. You can have galleries, promote your business, announce an upcoming event. It's all so fun, so easy to use. Now, as you probably know, I hope you know, I'm a huge Squarespace fan. I've been with them for, I believe, over a decade at this point. And they've been really good to me. They've been great to this show because, of course, Squarespace.com is also where Roderick on the Line is exclusively hosted. So do me a favor, and right now you head out to squarespace.com/supertrain for a free trial. And no credit card is required. Just go get started, play around. When you're ready to launch, use our special offer code SUPERTRAIN because that's going to save you 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. Once again, squarespace.com/supertrain. And when you decide to sign up, use the offer code SUPERTRAIN for 10% off your first purchase. And, it shows your support for our program, which we really appreciate. Our thanks to Squarespace for supporting Roderick on the Line and all the great shows. Here's the
hot
thing.
Tub's too hot. It's
not funny. It's not funny when the hot tub's too hot.
This little chair for you.
Mm-hmm. Put up all this wicker. God damn it. Nice pull. I didn't think you liked comedy. No, it's just that the last two nights I've been having the dream. There's most of my dreams are pretty, and don't worry, I'm not gonna tell you my dream. I'm always happy to share my dreams, but there's a kind of creative dream that's fun where something happens, but then there's a kind of what I want to call a functional dream. Where even as I'm stuck in the functional dream, and it's usually the latter part of the night, I can tell because my sleep app tells me how badly I'm sleeping at this time. And that I'm not getting any deep sleep. And I know it's because I'm having a functional dream. And a functional dream.
Hang on just a second. Does the sleep app cause you, does the sleep app contribute to your anxiety about sleep? Are you performing for your sleep app?
No, it doesn't. I think that's a very good question. I think it absolutely can cause anxiety, especially for people who come in, the snorks who come in and are like, I'm pretty sure my sleep is terrible. I should get an app. And then they obsess over the app. They may choose to, maybe unintentionally. I've been doing this for years and it just runs. So I mainly use it as a way to before I even look at it, I say to myself, I wonder how I slept last night. And I make a guess.
Yeah. Oh, good. That seems fun.
And then that can confirm that. But
anyway, you had a maintenance dream. Oh, functional.
I had a maintenance dream. It was very functional. And that's the kind of dream where even as I'm in it and I can't get out of it, I have to do something impossible that's impossible in an impossible way, and it's impossible for me to do. I don't know if you ever have these, but like
Like
some
a
people
puzzle,
go,
or like, hey, carry this that's very large engine block up a hill, or what kind of impossible?
sure could be. But like, no, the problem is like, even if I explain it to you, you're either going to get it or you're not going to get it.
Sure.
Or, you know,
That's
once
kind
you
of
know,
true of
you know, you
everything.
know.
Yeah.
And so night before last, for example, I had a classic, which is that I had to, oh wait, I think I might have actually written this down. You may get the bad fortune of me actually having written this one down, but I
Okay.
can't.
Wait, do you keep a dream journal?
Oh yeah, I write down, anytime I have a dream that I can remember, I write it down. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Uh-huh.
And then when you go back and read about them, does it all sound like gibberish, or do you go,
Oh,
oh, right?
No. Well, I would love to talk about this because my thing is, and you know, a friend of the show, John Syracuse, has said it's just brain garbage when you have a dream. I accept that a dream is brain garbage, but I think the way it made us feel, even though it's brain garbage, is important. And I think what we take away from a dream, you know, okay, so here's a dream. Let's see. This was oh yeah. Okay, so yeah, this was the 10/3. So Sunday morning I wrote this down. Ready?
Were you coming down?
Sunday morning coming down, cleanest dirty shirt. Yep. Professional poster printing apparatus is sharp, hot, and way too heavy to take on a plane. Plus the posters have to always be sung in odd numbers. And the printer itself can't print posters without also printing all printers themselves, and this cannot be turned off. The Paris airport pretzels giggle and the ATM's giving you the stink eye. You've been on the flight since at least yesterday. That's the dream.
Wow, there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on there. And I'll tell you why I think me writing my dreams down is special. If you listen, you out there, the listener, the global you tell me a dream with too much of a story, and I say, fa. I say that's a story. That's you putting together a thing that you could tell as a story. If it makes too much sense, it's not a real dream. For it to be a real dream, you have to lean into, you can't say stuff like it's your house, but it's not your house. You got to say what it was in the dream as closely as you can. And the less it makes sense, the more likely I am to believe that it's a dream. Now, in this case, you could tell somewhere in there, and it's a loop. I've been on the plane since at least yesterday. There's a professional poster printing apparatus, and it's sharp, hot, and way too heavy to get on a plane. Now, you can't print the posters without also printing all the printers.
Yeah, I heard that. That's very good.
So that does not make any sense.
Though, what you're doing to me, though, what it sounds like to me is it's not informational. It's all language. Like what you came up with 5 incredibly like visceral, profound images there.
Mm-hmm.
They don't need to be connected to one another for them to, I mean, they're wonderful lyrics.
And that's what makes it art, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, here, read your dream thing again, and I'm just going to give you like
one.
I'm just going to give you a light beat.
It's a little bit like you look at like a German expressionist. You look at a Edvard Munch's The Scream. I think he might be Swiss. You look at a Munch, and like that evokes a very strong feeling, even though it's really just a bunch of marks on paper. Do you know?
So here we go. Ready?
Well, my name is Poster, and I'm
here.
You're
going to read your dream.
Professional poster printing Okay. Professional poster.
User.
No. You can drop a sick beat if you want. Professional poster printing apparatus is sharp, hot, and way too heavy to take on a plane. Plus, the posters have to always be sung in odd numbers, and the printer itself can't print. I don't know why you're not putting out records, John. Can't print posters without also printing all printers themselves. This cannot be turned off. That's the main meat of it. Yeah.
Yeah, but there was I mean, it's like
Paris airport pretzels giggle.
Yeah, there you go. Paris.
Well, yeah, the Charles de Gaulle airport figures have. I've never been there, but if that and
wait, you're communicating truths about the pretzels at the Charles de Gaulle airport, and you've never even been there?
No, God, no.
I think you need to read this Psychology Today article on highly sensitive pizza.
No, send it to me, FedEx it to me. But the thing is, here's the thing, is I have classes of dreams. I've always had classes of dreams. Mm-hmm. I have the new college dream. I have the military school dream. I have the airport dream. I have the museum dream. And in the last couple of years, the airport dream and the museum dreams have been much to my chagrin, joining forces. So you go into a mall, you start out in the good mall, you walk a little bit, and then you're in the old mall. You take a right and you enter a museum because there's a museum. You walk into that museum and it will not surprise you to know there's increasingly smaller malls and musea the deeper in you go.
And then you're in an airport, and then you're in a hovercraft?
No, then you're in a dark ride. Like the Like
Oh.
like It's a Small World.
Oh, now, did you ever
Yeah.
go through a long period where you didn't remember your dreams, or have you always been able to take 10% of your dreams and remember them well enough to put them down?
It's a very good question. When I was a younger person, I feel like I remembered them pretty well. And let's be honest, they were closer to stories anyway.
Mm.
I think as I got older, I remembered fewer dreams. I'm not sure exactly why, but the ones I do remember usually have some flashbulb moments that are very clear. And there's recurring themes. A rectangle in the middle of the frame appears a lot. Sometimes that's a dorm room in Sarasota. Sometimes that's a painting inside the museum mall. But a centered rectangle, almost like, but like, with right angles. It's not like a Wes Anderson movie. It's not like a 40 millimeter, that I'm looking at. Anyways, that happens.
Now, do you feel
Yes.
that having recorded your dreams and thought about them has improved your ability to remember your dreams?
No.
Oh, really?
I don't.
It's not a thing you've practiced and now can do.
Well, I don't. I mean, it would be like, I think if you were to meet a real fortune teller, that's probably racist. If you were to meet a real teller of fortunes or some media, and they're too specific, well, then that's
Did you
probably
say
just a
a
cold
teller of
read.
media? Is that
A
what you
teller,
meant?
well, a media, when you get more than one medium, I think that's media.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Like if you go to the mall, like our comic book store that I used to love, Two Cats Comics, 320 West Portal Avenue, has turned into a medium.
No.
So no
Yeah.
more Fantastic Four, just Tall Dark Strangers.
Do
You know?
you, and I don't, this may be a sensitive topic, but do
No,
you have
I'm
bad
an open
dreams?
book, you hope.
Do you have,
Yeah.
do you have dreams where they trend into bad, and then how bad do they trend?
You mean in terms of like danger and fear and something bad's going to happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm pursued a lot in dreams.
Mhm.
I mean, I guess like anybody, probably I get some of the classic, like I couldn't make a fist or I tried to scream and that kind of stuff. But it's more like last week there was one where a strong and persistent person kept poking me in the ear in a way that was painful, and I couldn't get away from them. They poked me in the ear.
Oh, poke you in the ear.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Here's a good one. This one's one of my favorites. I return to this one a lot. This is from a couple years ago. Let's see. This is from March 12th, 2017. And this is a rerun for some of you, but this one's one of my favorites. All the rage was the Scarlett Johansson branded protective helmet. It's a colorful helmet, and it is a planner with 11 specific draining holes, and it's an important crucible for ideas. We met at a media event held at a junior high. Scarlett was polite but perfunctory. Then there was a small hotel room with glass walls and doors stocked with herbal bourbons. Ice machine didn't work. Scarlett said, "No way am I drinking that shit." She was serious and smart. It might have been Las Vegas.
Almost certainly was Las Vegas. That's exactly where I was transported.
11 specific draining holes. I have Las Vegas dreams. Now, the Las Vegas dreams heavily track. Las Vegas dreams are almost always in a counterclockwise circle. As though I were going through, like if you're in Las Vegas and you go to like one of those, it's like a Caesar's Palace, you can kind of do like a loop. There's
so they're made to be a loop. Yeah. The
yeah,
whole
yeah.
thing.
But that could also be, there's also art there. So that could be the museum dream and the mall dream. Cause let's be honest, Las Vegas is really just, it's a mall. It's a mall for losing money.
Yeah. It's an Ouroboros. It's a Mobius strip.
It's an Ouroboros eating its own tail for sure.
So now you say some people might have heard about this before. Are you saying that there are other shows that you do where you talk about your dreams? Because you've never done it here.
No, I've done it other places. I do it mostly to provoke John Siracusa because I think it makes his logic bolt that the Jawas put on him very stressed out. Meat moop, can't understand. Meat moop.
How much of your show with John Siracusa is you provoking him?
Oh, ironically enough, it's very much the opposite.
Oh, he provokes you.
Oh, he doesn't. He pretends like he doesn't, and that's what makes the gaslighting so effective. He has all these flying monkeys that are always happy to congratulate him on how right he is about everything. And I love him. He's one of my dearest and worst friends. But yeah, people love to agree with John Siracusa. It's if you can't find a personality, you could do. But the CPAP thing is what's come up now, I believe, in at least 3 different places because of our discussions here. This is really catching fire in the community. I'm hearing a lot from friends of mine. I've heard from Matt Howie of all things. He couldn't get his garage door open because of his snoring.
Is this one of these things where then pretty soon people are going to be like, oh, all the great shows, and they're going to like copyright it and make it into the brand of their network? And I'm going to
No,
be
it's
like,
going to be like, yeah, it's going to be like Griffin McElroy eating a banana sideways all over again.
so, so, uh, I remember when I first started doing or I was about to start doing a podcast with Dan, and you said, oh, this is going to be great because you're going to challenge Dan every time he says something about vitamins or about radio waves or whatever.
Or radio waves,
tinfoil hat.
Yeah, exactly. Or like, yeah, anything basically like, you know, the Queen is stealing his thoughts through the radio,
right?
Through Wi-Fi radio.
What it turned out was that the dynamic on that show is when Dan starts talking about that stuff, I just like put on a green visor and listen very patiently and attentively to his theory. So it did not turn out that I was the necessary corrective that brought fun to Dan. I'm just like the rest of us, just buckled in for the ride.
Exactly. Would you rather listen to two middle-aged men argue, or would you like to hear them, you know, hear each other out? And you got the visor on. You're the existential accountant.
Well, this was the problem. You know, I think back to that time when you wanted John Thirkutha and me to be on a podcast together. And then he spent the whole show telling me that Lamborghinis were better than whatever, you know, he had something that he was mad about. He was mad at me about.
Yeah. Would you take a McLaren over that?
But also, no. But also he was mad that I thought that I didn't understand evolution or whatever it was. And I look back at that moment and I realized, or I feel like, oh, that was a missed opportunity for me. I should have listened more patiently. He could have explained things to me. And instead I was, it's not like I argued with him, but I was definitely like,
but you got to be careful.
Cuticles,
well, okay. Like I don't think I'm a very defensive, manly man about these things, but I do believe in self-preservation. So like opening the door to something as seemingly innocuous as pasta as a food that people eat and enjoy. I got even after he'd beaten me into the ground after 2 weeks about how I pasta wrong in every way, it still continued week after week for almost 2 months. He pummeled me about the right way to put sauce on pasta. And no matter what, it's like being in French class. No matter how you pronounce it, it's wrong. No. Yeah. I got 2 months. I got 2 months of saucing the pasta wrong.
Is this a thing where you put the pasta, where you do the Sopranos thing? And
my God.
You make the pasta in the water and stuff? Or you put pasta sauce in the thing and stir it up?
Pasta sauce into the water. And you drain
the water, and then you filter the water out somehow, and the sauce is
Paulie didn't move fast. He didn't have to move at all. This episode of Roderick on the Line is brought to you in part by Mack Weldon. You can learn more about Mack Weldon right now by visiting mackweldon.com/ROTL. Did you know I think it's still technically summertime. Get your summer on. You know, you need clothes. Please wear clothes. It's so vital that you wear clothes. And right now you can dive into Mack Weldon's swim line with trunk and board short options that are quick to dry and have 4-way stretch fabric. And when you're not in the pool, Mack Weldon's new Maverick Tech Chino short and Radius short are the perfect additions to your summer wardrobe. I need to start saying things like short and pant and trouser. I should start saying that because I think it sounds really classy. The point is that this is going to be perfect for your summer wardrobe, and it keeps you comfortable, so you can confidently power through your most active days. Mack Weldon also has a free loyalty program called Weldon Blue. This is very cool. Level 1 of Weldon Blue. Hey, you get free shipping for life. Boom, out the door. Bob's your uncle. And once you reach level 2 by spending $200, you get 20% off every order for the next year. So stay cool this summer and look great doing it with all new collections of men's essentials from Mack Weldon. Summer or otherwise, I got to be honest with you guys. I'm probably the biggest fan in the world of Mack Weldon, and yet I'm desperately not very active. I know you're more active than me, so you'll benefit from this. Me, I love stuff like their long sleeve t-shirt. I have a bunch of those. I do like their underpants. I have their fleece vest. I have all the things, you guys. I wear it every day. So do me a favor. For 20% off your first order, you go to mackweldon.com/ROTL, just like it sounds, and enter the promo code ROTL, just like it sounds, and it's going to get you 20% off. mackweldon.com/ROTL, promo code ROTL for 20% off. They're reinventing men's basics, and don't you want to be there for that? You can tell your kids, I was there. I made it happen. I got comfortable with Mack Weldon. Do it. Our thanks to Mac Weldon for supporting Roderick on the Line and all the great shows.
You never know when you're going to have to feed a lot of guys. So here, watch me make the gravy or whatever. Is it? I mean,
riches.
he's an Italian, right? Isn't?
Yeah.
Is it, so doesn't he know? Or I don't. I might be making the pasta wrong. I'm almost certainly making it. Are
you making the pasta category here?
I make the pasta so wrong. I don't think that I think it's indefensible how I make the pasta. I made some last night. I think it was indefensible.
But okay, here's the difficult part of this. And I don't want to say that John is like a crazy person who corners you on a long subway ride.
You said that exact thing to me many times.
Well, I don't mean to imply that he is a crazy person on the subway. But okay. John cares, and I guess we probably all have these things. Bless us, everyone. But he has things that he cares about so intensely that I could not care any less about.
He might be a highly sensitive person. This article in Psychology
Today, is that an HSP? Is that what that's called?
About, highly sensitive people. It sounds like he's got some of the traits.
He's a super taster. Does that count?
Well, it's right in there. It's like, do you have intensity? It says,
do you have intensity?
Do you feel like other people?
Well, I kind of want to talk about this article now.
You might be a highly sensitive person.
The reason I ask is because somehow things that happen on this program with our 17 to 35 listeners, it does catch fire in certain communities.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot like what, Brian Eno said about the Velvet Underground, that they're not as good as everybody says. But the, only 10,000 people ever threw this album away. The second album's so much better.
He made the trains run on time. That was the thing.
Brian Eno, he couldn't even get his haircut to run on time. What are you talking about? Looks like he got shot with a bald eagle gun.
That's a famous quote.
The thing is, though, we like the Velvet Underground. Well,
sure.
I don't know if we like them, but as
clang,
with
clang,
the
clang, 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 clang,
you better watch your step. I'm kidding. I love that band. I just like the second and third albums a lot better.
Sure, okay. You've always been a Doug Yule fan. You talk about him, Doug Yule,
yes.
Appreciated Doug Yule.
Who loves the sun? I love the sun. Yeah. Okay, now, actually, that movie does look very good on Apple.
The Capulets are hunter gatherers.
Oh, I see. And what are the Romulans? It's the Romulans versus the Capulets.
The Romulans versus the Capulets. The one of them are the hunter gatherers. The other one
Angels. Russians, where I fear to tread.
That's exactly it. You got it.
Teaspoon. You say it different. The spoon is different. The tea is different every time.
Every time.
How's that feel? You like that getting thrown in your face? You like having a super fan on your fucking podcast? Okay.
Yeah, no.
But in our Velvet Underground community, things do spread. And I just want to tell you that, I'm still fighting the good fight. And I would be willing to be the one who buys the black market CPAP. But to a person, like almost everybody is saying the same kind of shit, which is like, oh, like my beloved wife, whom I love. It's like, oh, you have good insurance now. You should go to the doctor. And I says to her, you don't listen to my podcast, do you? And she says, of course I don't. I said, well, if you did, and I'm glad you don't. But if you did, you'd have heard the saga of John Roderick spending 2 years trying to utilize the medical system.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes a fella thinks maybe I should go up to Puyallup or whatever the fuck it's called and buy a dead man's dick meningitis infested CPAP. And so on the one hand, everybody goes, oh, just go through don't be a maverick about medicine. Go get in the system and let them tell you when to schedule things. Ooh. And then the other thing I hear from people, John, is at least 2 dear friends have told me that I am absolutely going to die if I use a black market CPAP, that I will suffocate to death in my bed the first night.
Oh my goodness. I have always felt and still feel, we've been doing this show for 10 years, and I still feel like there is a fan community or rather a large group of people that listen to this show and then talk to you on LiveJournal about it. And when
people text me, John, people text me.
And when I say, what is happening? You say, like you did that one time when I said, people are talking about me on LiveJournal. well, what are they saying? And you said, that's between me and the LiveJournal community. And it would be a betrayal of their trust for me to tell you what we're talking about on LiveJournal.
What do you suppose Dave with the brother in the book in Marin, what's his name? Dave 826. What's his name? Dave Eggers. Dave Eggers. Now, what would Dave Eggers say to you in that situation? What would he say?
Well, would he say you should know what they're talking about you on LiveJournal about?
I think he'd say that's not for you. He'd say that's not for you.
Well, I don't think Dave Eggers is aware that there ever was a LiveJournal. But he has a little
so you got
bit
a surprise coming his way.
Well, he's got a little bit of a Wes Anderson-ness about him, where he's like, LiveJournal. But the thing is that I do absolutely, even when you don't tell me about it, I put, we'll talk about something on the show, and then I eventually hear about the conversation that's happening because somebody will reference somebody else's reference about a conversation that has been going on for a long time about something we said. And I'm like, where are these conversations happening? And I guess you're all on a text thread with each other.
No,
or it's all happening somewhere.
No, I mean, it's very much, I don't know. Like, did you ever read The Phantom Tollbooth?
Yeah.
I love that book.
Yeah,
I don't know which side of anything to look at, protested Milo. That's how I feel a lot of the time. I feel like Milo. I feel like I'm not even sure what I'm supposed to be confused about anymore. And then I found myself going, was that a reference? Because I feel like I'm losing my goddamn mind. But, we have a high level of engagement with like the Velvet Underground. We have a high level of engagement with an extremely deranged number of people.
Last night, I went to the grocery store. And there's a big freezer there.
I got 3 drinks, John.
No. There's a big freezer, and they've got a new thing. It's a new thing. It's a new one of these fancy grocery store things where somebody has made beef bourguignon, beef bourguignon, and put it in a bag.
No, beef.
Beef bourguignon in a bag.
Oh.
And for $9 or $8.50 or whatever, you can buy
sur le sac. It's beef bourguignon sur le sac.
Sur le sac. And you take it home, and it's just like a sack, and you empty it into a skillet. You put a lid on it. You cook it for 9 minutes, and then it's better quality. It's better tasting. It's better food than you would get from Stouffer's or whoever.
If you told me you could go to the Wegmans and buy a bag of beef, I would be skeptical. But what I'm hearing from you is word on the street is beef bourguignon sur le sac is a good bag of meat.
Well, so this is what I didn't know, because I've seen it in the grocery store a few times, and it's one of those things that has an installation at the grocery store. It has its own freezer, and there is
like a Paul Allen style in.
Yeah. This is the first time I've ever seen it. It had its own accompanying video system where someone was on a screen going, "You're going to love our beef bourguignon."
Oh my goodness.
And I walked past it for a few weeks. I would look at it and go, I'm not so sure about
I don't know,
this.
Right?
Yeah. But then the last night I was there, and I was like, all right, okay, let's try it. And I got it, and I came home, I threw it in a skillet, I cooked it for 9 minutes. But of course, I made pasta to go with it, because everything is made better with a little egg noodle.
Wide noodles. Get your Papa Adal or whatever it's called. Get some big ass wide egg noodles.
Wide noodles. You get them.
You put me onto that. I never looked back, John.
Well, that's the thing. I was talking to a friend about this camping trip we're going to go on, and I was like, look, here's the only caveats are I don't eat potatoes, I don't eat olives, and I want egg noodles with every meal. So as long as you can, facilitate that up at 10,000 feet or whatever, and then, we're fine. But
I love that you've made that so clear. No. I'm dead serious. And also, you should probably also don't touch my feet. But in that instance, you say to somebody, hey, look, here's the deal. And this is non-negotiable. But like, this is the way that this is going to go. If you can meet my terms on this, I will trek to 10,000 feet.
Yeah, here we go. Like, I'm off. Like, we'll go to the end of the earth. You can carry egg noodles. But so I make the beef bourguignon. I got the egg noodles. I drain the noodles. I got them in the pot. I got the beef bourguignon in the skillet. I look at the two of them, and what I hadn't considered was, how do I plate this meal? And so what I did was I just poured the skillet into the pot, and then I stirred it, and then I poured the whole thing into a bowl.
This is after you drained the noodles.
I drained the noodles. I didn't pour the skillet.
You're
into
probably
the
going to get
water.
a note about how you're saucing it wrong, just FYI.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. I know I did that wrong.
Dear.
This is terrible. You know, and as I was eating it, I was like, there's a lot of ways I could have done this better than just put it in a mixing bowl and, you know, and eat it with a salad fork. And so
I was hoping you'd have a giant spoon. You
well,
know,
I thought about saying
kind of a hill giant. Or
I thought about saying that I ate it with the actual super large fork that I did eat it with, but that sounded crazy, so I changed it. I changed it in the moment because if you'd seen it in reality, it would have been a bridge too far, and people would stop.
Imagine a bite sounds like this. Wow. Or you're like a python.
And that ding dong Mike Squires was in Seattle for some reason I can't understand. And he was like, I'm on my way to the airport. I'm coming by your house. And I was like, how are you even in Seattle? He was here. I was only here for 24 hours. So then he's sitting in the chair watching me eat my beef bourguignon out of a mixing bowl. And I'm like,
listen, if you don't call ahead, you get what you get and don't get upset.
That's right. And I said, do you want a beef bourguignon? And he was like, he said, I just ate
some burf and a salad fork.
He said, I just ate my weight in barbecue. And I was like, and you're getting on an overnight flight?
Yikes.
Like have some consideration for others.
I would want to follow that up with like maybe a cake dusted with Imodium.
Anyway, so now you have been warned by all of your people not to get a used CPAP machine, but nobody's warning me. All of these people are, you know, I'm going to get dick meningitis and then I'm going to die. And you're going to get 1,000 texts about it where people are like, oh, he should have listened to me when I said that.
I'll get a lot of texts and it'll be nice stuff. It'll be like, how are you doing? Like, oh, I heard John's dick got meningitis. So, well, no, it's in his spine, like all meningitis. He got it through his dick. Because a dead man fucked his CPAP up in Puyallup or whatever it's called.
I'm going to go today and they're going to put something on me and I'm going to come home and I'm going to I'm going to have a thing. I don't know what it is. Some kind of, it's like one of those little black boxes that Jewish people wear when they go to the Wailing Wall.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. It's called Tevye, I think.
There you go.
No. What's his name? Zero Mostel.
It's called Zero Mostel. And then I'm gonna try to pretend like, because the thing is, how does the box work if problem number one is that I don't want to go to sleep and maybe the feeling if I read this highly sensitive people article and I really think about my feelings, maybe it is that I'm afraid to go to sleep. I don't want to go to sleep because I'm afraid to go to sleep.
Oh, do you think this is a MacGuffin, John?
Well, I don't know. I don't know why I'm afraid to go to sleep.
It's like a Solomon type thing. Sorry to go Old Testament, but some kind of thing where there's a MacGuffin. Where like, there's a thing, and I want to convince you that this is the thing and why we're doing the thing. And I get you to buy into that. This happens a lot in those placebo kind of mix them up 60s, 70s experiments. In this case, what if we find out that just because John has Tevye on his head, that's when he finally realizes, you know, it was the friends you made along the way. You're scared to sleep. And it wasn't until you got a head box that you were forced to confront that. Is that a possible thing they're trying to prove?
Well, I don't think they're trying to prove it because I think that I have just stepped in. I've got a toe into the medical industrial complex and they don't know anything about me or care anything about me. They're just running me through. But I'm wondering to myself, because I definitely have sleep apnea, because when I lay down on the couch to take a 5-minute nap, I do this thing where I'm like, and I wake up and I have half a second of panic. And then I'm like, come on, all you're trying to do is take a 5-minute nap. Please, can we
hate that, John. You don't want to suffocate. I don't want to trigger you, but like there's a whole bunch of notional anecdotes you've offered about things you don't want. You don't want to be in a hole. You don't want to be in the back of a police car. You definitely don't want to go.
No, I don't want any of those things because they're all in the same family. You're right to have identified those as in the same family. I don't want to back over my head. I don't want to be in the trunk of a car. I don't want to be in a hole. And so, but I think the fear of going to sleep is a different thing because I don't have nightmares. I'm not afraid to go to sleep because Freddy Krueger is in there waiting for me, and I'm not afraid to go to sleep because I'm afraid of suffocating or anything like that. I have no fear. I have no top level fear about going to sleep. I look at the bed and it's not like I go, oh, it's just that I look at the bed and go, not yet. And then I go the other way. I go over here. I sit and and there's and I have a mason jar full of rusty nails that I need to sort or whatever. And I have to, and it's like, oh, all these photographs right now. Right now, my dining room table is covered with light bulbs.
I've been going through a derusting and polishing phase.
Oh, isn't that fun?
I've discovered derusting and polishing. So I derust, and then I have Brasso, and I have a set of rigid brushes, and that's how I unwind at night.
Oh, that's nice.
It's so nice. John, I found, we live in an old house. There's a bunch of weird shit in the garage. I found a bunch of old like brass screws. I found a thing I found a metal box that used to have cocoa in it from probably the 30s or 40s.
Smell like cocoa?
No, it smells like, I don't know what they put in it. There's a lot of macabre shit going on in our house. But no, I discovered a good deruster because I was watching you ever watch that guy on YouTube that like fixes up old tools? He gets like a butcher cleaver that's totally rusted through, and then he makes it nice.
No, but I did find a show about a guy who goes around the Midwest and finds tractors that are like in fallen down barns. You know how you drive around the Midwest and you're like, look at that rusty old tractor.
It's like
Whoa,
David
look
Reese
at that
in tape recorders. Like some people like fixing up nasty stuff.
But this guy, it's a great show because he wanders into the barn. The farmer comes out and he's like, yep, hasn't run in a long time.
Don't put your dick in that hole. Don't talk to my daughter.
And the guy like goes and he pops open the thing. He looks at the thing. He throws, he shoots a little bit of this into that. He blows on the spark plug.
And
then he gets these things,
that kind of thing.
Well, he just sort of
heavier stuff. Got to be heavier stuff, right?
I mean, these motors are built. I mean, you could crawl inside these motors, and he's like, gets it going, and he's like, and the tractor hasn't run in 30 years, and he got it going in. I mean, it's a show.
Magic.
So it looks like it took him 5 minutes.
Sure. Yeah.
But it seemed, I mean, he did it. How long would it take you or me to get a whole tractor running?
All the time.
Years?
All the time ever.
That's right. And he's just like, and then all of a sudden you got a tractor. The tractor's back.
But even if you're just improving, I've often said that sometimes when I feel like I can't exactly say, we all have these moments where we need to like get centered. And the super pattern for that, for me, is what I would call controlling a small space. And often that means cleaning something or cleaning a small area, or it could be, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be your whole house. Maybe you dye your hair, but you want to control a small area.
Sure, and I cut my hair in the middle of the night. 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm always in there cutting my hair.
You got to get on this machine, John.
It's a tiny little thing I can do. It's okay. Oh, this little hair. Even it out.
I love my last haircut, but my kid says I'm not allowed to have short hair anymore, and I'm hating it.
I've been saying the same thing. I'm not going to have short hair anymore. I said to my kid, because she let me cut her hair.
Itchy. It's so itchy. I hate it.
Well, I said I'm going to grow my hair long, and she said no, don't do it. And I was like, as long as you're growing your hair, I'm growing my hair. So you keep telling me that you're going to grow your hair down to your waist. Well, what if I join you and we both have hair down to our waist? And I really got to her. I could hear the gears turning.
A metal band in 1985.
Well, she was like, because she's thinking to herself, I was going to grow my hair down to my waist because that was going to be my gesture. And now he is taking my gesture and turning it into something terrible. So that
you swiped her gesture.
Well, and she now, does she want to be responsible? Because I'm going to be the embarrassing dad with long hair. Yeah. And it's like, and I'm just going to say, well, that was your choice. It was your choice that my hair grew long. And
you fucked up, honey.
Oh, yeah. So she's really thinking about it now. I don't know what she's going to do. It's her decision, though. It's going to take us 4 years for it to play out.
You're going to come home with Tevi on your head. I think we should think about putting out a sleep appliance called the MacGuffin. Just to
what do I do? What do I do if my real problem, because I have a secondary problem where I need a CPAP machine and it's going to put oxygen into me in the night, and I'm going to wake up and I'm going to feel strong and I'm not going to have ennui anymore and I'm not going to have angst.
You're going to wake up with a light heart like you've always wanted.
I'm going to have a light heart. But also, why do I not? In the morning, all I want to do is stay in bed. So in the night, why don't I rush to bed? It's one of my favorite places to be in the morning.
Oh, I see. Something happens in the nighttime hours. At first, you're reluctant to go to bed, but then at some point, I guess you nod off. And boy, that's in my case. Like today, I really needed to capture some bonus sleep. So I got a little bit of light double bonus sleep that I definitely needed. But of course, I sleep in my wife's office. It's, it is known. So I got to get out of there for meetings and stuff.
Yeah. Your wife's office used to be my bedroom. Is that the
Let's
same?
see. This gets confusing because you're
Oh,
usually
'cause
in the
it's a new
middle
place.
bedroom.
Yeah.
You're
The
on the
new,
one with the taco.
yeah.
Anyways,
But no, tell me this, because right now, as soon as we get off this show,
you sure? Because I feel like you're close to realizing something. You want to keep going? I feel like you're about to really realize something.
well, I need a little hand holding here. If
That's
when we
fine.
get off this show,
Yeah.
I will have to struggle not to walk down the hall and go immediately back to bed. I would love to do it. Like the bed is calling me even right now. Come back.
You don't
But
like
if
going
it
to
was,
bed. You like going back to bed.
yeah, if it was 3 o'clock in the morning right now, and I was struggling to keep my eyes open, the bed would be back there, and I would be like, no thanks.
Yeah,
Hey
you just go
friends.
crack open a new Brasso.
Yeah, but I'm
You
gonna
know?
go. That's right. I'm gonna go polish some nails, or I'm gonna go
Mhm.
downstairs and sort through 35 years of rock posters that I have all stacked in a like a ziggurat of memories. And like,
Ooh.
oh, you just
think I
stepped on a
got a
roller skate,
semi.
didn't you? Did you just?
A ziggurat. I don't even know how to spell that. Ziggurat of memories, and that might go down in the books up there with seven-sided lighthouse made of dreams.
Yeah,
All right.
I mean, what do I do with these rock posters? That's another thing. I've got so many rock posters. I could wallpaper the house in rock posters. And what am I supposed to do with them? They're not small.
I'll do you one better. I've got a poster signed by the 2003 Long Winters. I've got a Pretend to Fall poster, and I got to find a place for it.
What are you going to do with it? I mean,
Frame it and put it up. I don't want it to get all of our Fillmore posters got like bleached by sunlight.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not sure I really want to go into like polarized, but I've got a right here next to me. I've got a This American Life poster signed by Sarah Vowell. I've got I got a lot of Wilberforce, but I treasured that. I treasured that Long Winters one.
I've got the copy of the Seattle Times from 1969 that says "Man Walks on Moon."
Oh,
and it's sitting right here. It's on the table, and I looked into putting it in a frame, and I went on all those archivist sites where people are like, "How do I how do I put a newspaper in a frame?" And all of the consensus is, no matter what you do, a newspaper is going to fall apart as soon as you expose it to the light.
Yeah, my John Lennon paper, my St. Petersburg Times from December of 1980 was pretty yellow by the time I graduated high school.
Yeah. And so what they say is make a photocopy of it and put that in a frame and put the paper itself in a bag and put it in the bottom of your closet.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, that's kind of not the point. I could go to a poster shop and buy a poster of Man Walks on Moon.
Let's get like getting a Xerox of your wife. I mean, it's not really exactly the same. I mean, the ways in which it is exactly the same are not the ways that are important. You go, sure, that's her, but like that's a mimeograph of my lady.
If you smell a Xerox, it smells like a Xerox. It doesn't smell like a newspaper.
Take one, pass it back. That's what they say. Yep.
I mean, half of it is smell, right? If somebody put a blindfold on you and said, "Here, smell these 5 women," you'd be able to pick your wife out of the lineup, right?
Would they all definitely be women? Or would they try and MacGuffin me up a little bit?
They might fake you out. They might put another person and give that person your wife's soap.
Interesting. Somebody recently, before my wife had surgery, she had to do special ablutions, and she got some Dial. I had not used Dial since college. Dial's the soap I would steal from my friends in college.
Because you couldn't afford it?
Well, no, I couldn't. I used to wash
Dial
my
was
dishes.
15 cents. What are you talking about?
Well, I used to wash my dishes with laundry detergent, and that caused me to have a lot of cognitive problems for a while.
I think so.
But I was in the liberal arts, so nobody noticed.
My daughter's mother partner showed up yesterday, and if you read this article on highly sensitive people,
you got to send this to me.
It says a lot about sensitivity to light, sound, smells.
Oh, like Dennis DeYoung.
Or Steve Perry, depending. But for me, not to say that reading this article that there was anything in it that I was like, but I like sight, sounds. Like I love big loud noises, fireworks and hot rod cars and rock and roll. But I don't want them all the time. I just want them in short bursts, and then I want it to be very, very quiet and no other sounds, no noises, right? No alarms and no surprises. And it's the same with food. Like sometimes I want beef bourguignon in a pot, and sometimes I want not that. And so
Okay.
she walked in the door, and from the door, I was like, "Are you wearing men's aftershave?"
Oh,
And
really?
she said, "No, but I have this new deodorant, and I
Oh,
wonder if it's too much." And she came over, and I was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! You know this." Like I've been in truck stops that smell less like
send me
men's
some of her
aftershave.
clothes. I want to see what it's like.
And she was like, "Oh,
No,
I'm
I'll
not
send you
going to
some
wear
of my
this."
wife's clothes, but
No,
just on the DL, just dude to dude.
yeah,
I'd
that
like to
seems
see
like
what
a
other
live
people
journal I
smell
would
like. I'm
join.
never going to get that again, John.
Well, we get sometimes we get sponsorships from companies that have scented man products.
Well, but what about a box service that sends you just not
Other
in a
people's
creepy way,
wives'
but sends you
clothes.
a woman's clothes.
Hmm. There is
Not
that.
women's clothing, but the clothes of a given woman. And I'm not talking about that girl who sells her bath water. I'm
Isn't
talking
that
like I have a very
15% of the
specific
Japanese economy?
hi. Hi. I one time I had a girl left a sweatshirt or not a sweatshirt, a flannel shirt in a car.
How long ago was
And I used to have very mixed feelings about Jovan Musk. But after I smelled that shirt, the feelings all like poles on a magnet all started pointing the same way, and that was up.
Well,
And
Maureen
so,
Irwin used to wear CK1, but she really lathered it on. And,
well, I
and
think
I can't even smell
sometimes
that stuff, from across the street. It smells
my
like
primary college girlfriend was an Obsession user, and that's not my favorite
it's a
scent. But boy,
shame.
that Marlboros will always remind me of orientation week. But see, this is the
Yes,
point of our service, John, MacGuffin box, which is
right.
we're going to send you something, and you don't know what it's going to be. It might help you sleep. It might be something that smells like a pretty lady, or it could be neither, because
It's
really
going
it
to
is
help
our
me sleep
service.
if I can go to sleep.
Yeah.
And so the box isn't going to tell them anything. What does the box say? The box is going to sit there, strapped to my head, and it's going to say,
Oh, that
"Well, you didn't go
box.
to sleep." And they're going to go,
Uh-huh.
"Maybe it's malfunctioning. You need to
Mazel
go to
tov.
sleep in order for this to work."
Oh, I see.
And go, "All right,
Huh.
well, then I got to wear this box for 48 hours because, like
Okay.
I'm going to sleep when I'm going to sleep when I finally."
So we could offer a third box. Now, I would prefer
Well,
just to get the ones that
or-
smell like a pretty woman. And I don't mean Julia Roberts. Or do I? Hi. Let me just
Don't
tell you
touch
a
my
little
feet.
bit.
That's
Be
what
sure
I'm
to
going to
use that
say.
offer code.
If
Smelly lady.
I'm going to put this box on my, if I'm going to put this box on me
Strap
and
it on.
and
Strap on your prayer
and it
box.
touches my feet, I'm going to be like, "Get
Ugh.
out."
Ugh. You should write down all your demands for the trip. Make sure people really understand. Because I want to just say once again that I think it's very admirable that you tell your family the importance of your ziggurat of noodles. I think you need to make sure that they super understand and that you will not be afraid to bring the hammer down if they try to cut corners.
Well, here's the thing. I buried the lead a little bit.
Oh,
My friends, my motorcycle friends, have reached out, and after the last time I did that last motorcycle trip,
yeah.
I really spent a lot of time kind of sitting on my couch, having made it back alive. And I said, "All right, you're a man in your 50s. You never rode dirt bikes before. Now you've gone on 2-week-long dirt bike expeditions over mountains and in the snow and across the logging roads, and you have fulfilled that. And now you don't need to do it anymore because you have done it, and you don't have to become it, because it just seems like, on the plus side, it's
I see.
7 days where you are really living in the moment, because on a motorcycle, you cannot not be in the moment at any given moment.
Absolutely. But
Anyway,
that doesn't need to become who you are. To paraphrase, I think it was Pima Chodron, you're the sky, not the weather.
well, yeah, because the entire
You don't need
time
to
it's
become
like
motorcycle.
7 straight days where I am just on the absolute, like, bleeding edge of total terror at all times.
Because just to be clear here, also, I want to, you're saying something that I think might go by too fast that I think is important.
Hmm.
And I'll tell you why this is important. My lady friend just got into a car and caused it to move for the first time in a month because she's been recovering from her knee surgery. But everything you do in a situation like that is double exhausting because you're not only doing a thing, but you're having to think a lot about the thing. Walking is difficult because you have to walk with a purposefulness, mindfulness, awareness, not to put, you know what I'm saying? Don't put any weight on that knee. In your case, John, the way you've described this, you're doing lots of those crazy turns, like those crotch rocket turns.
Mm.
You don't just unwind and amble down the blue highways, as
Mm-mm.
Billy Idol would say. You have to actively think about what you're doing. Plus, you're basically riding a horse, which is exhausting.
Yeah, right. The thing
A
itself
lot
is
of attention.
exhausting. And then in my mind, there is this like, don't fuck up, don't fuck up, don't fuck up, don't fuck up, just like a constant. But so, Ben King, architect Ben King, friend of the show, and Gregor, who Gregor has decided that he's going to now, he's done enough of these long rides that he's going to convert and turn this into a job. He's going to start leading adventure bike tours of the wilds of Oregon.
That's fun.
And he's going to do it a little bit better. He's going to have a sprinter chase vehicle that meets us on the playa or up in the trees.
You carry your bags or your turkey or whatever.
Well, and then he's going to make gourmet meals.
I love this.
Eat boeuf bourguignons. And wood-fired pizzas and stuff.
Oh, hand-turned noodles.
Hand-turned noodles. And there's going to be like these deluxe cabins up there. Hot springs. There's going to be, he's doing a whole thing.
Wow.
And then there's the adventure bikes, and off we go, and over the mountains. And so this year, so they write me and they say, look, Gregor's going to do this. And and the thing is, when they were 7 years old, they were throwing 125 Kawasaki's around flat tracks that they built themselves.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is just as, all you have to do is just get on it and ride. And I'm like, yeah, except you guys don't have like 700 buffalo right behind you trying to gore you like I do. And they're like, we all have buffalo.
Oh, everybody's got their buffalo.
I don't think so. I don't think your buffalo.
What's your buffalo?
I'm like
buffalo's buffalo.
The back tire of my motorcycle is 6 inches from the horn of the first buffalo. And so they're like, no, you got to do this. They don't say you got to do it because they're not that kind of guys.
No, that's the whole point. The point is you got to want to do it. It's like being a Marine.
But they're like, here, Gregor's starting this new business. This is his trial run. He wants to make the pizzas. He wants to make the beef bourguignons. We're going to go out. We're going to try this out. Gregor, it's a new role for Gregor. He's going to try very hard not to break his motorcycle. What do they call that
when you take out a ship for the first time? Not breaking it in. What do they call that? There's a term for that. So this is his not a dry run exactly, but like this is one of his early. Let's see how this would go. If I made this into a business, what could I learn from my dumb friends if we did this? Right.
And one of the things I think he learned in talking to people was typically most of your clients are not going to necessarily have been throwing 125 Kawasaki's around a track from the time they were 6 years old. They're going to be closer to John Roderick in terms of tone and temperature, time and temperature. And so maybe like chill out a little bit on the single track ride through shale over like a cliff that falls into the
vetting process for deciding, what are we talking about? Like probably maybe five people on one of these trips? Something like that?
5 to 7 probably.
But boy, you're the John Roderick of this trip, and you're very concerned that the buffalo are going to get you. Like I imagine your friend, what's his name? Gregor, that he's going to want to do some serious vetting. And maybe even like a competence test, and they're like, can you get out of a slide and stuff like that?
Well, in the past, I think everybody else on the motorcycle trip is like there because they're being sponsored by a motorcycle company or whatever. They're just like, hey, we're on the 3rd floor of the hotel. Why don't I just wheelie up the stairs? And I'm out there like,
D-Day.
I'm trying, and I'm trying to get, I have to try 6 times to get the kickstand down. And it's like, all right, okay. And I've always felt like a drag on everybody because I'm just like grannying. I mean, I'm not grannying. We're still on logging roads, but I'm just like I'm on my path, right? I'm doing my thing. But now I feel like maybe this time I'm going to be the tent pole because everybody's going to be going, well, now what does Roderick want?
No kidding. You're the tent pole. How about that?
I don't know yet. I don't know. I think they're going to forget about it.
But you're ready for that if you're called upon.
Tracking around. Anyway, I agreed to do it.
Okay.
And so.
And that's where the noodles come in.
So I'm leaving on Saturday.
Okay.
For 9 days of going down to like
whoa, hold the phone. You're doing a sleep thing on Monday.
Yeah. Or Tuesday.
Okay.
Or no, Monday. going on a sleep thing on Monday.
Okay.
The people from the King Conservation District are coming to kill all the laurels and hollies in my ravine on Wednesday.
Oh.
And then I'm going to drive down and get on a motorcycle. And then I'm on a hovercraft. But then we're going down to where Eamon Bundy thinks that his sheep should be able to graze.
Oh yeah, he just wants grazing rights.
Yeah, and then that there was a big fire down there too. But you know, that southeastern Oregon is just a crazy universe. When they were trying to do the moon landing, I think they went out there and said this is as close on Earth as you can get to the moon. But there are other places that are like all these canyons and all this stuff. So we're going down there, and I'm not in good shape right now, Merlin. I'm a big chubbins.
You're not getting as much sleep as you'd like. Don't say things like that.
Well, all I have to do is...
You should get one of those fat guy motorcycles with 3 wheels.
When I get up from this couch right now and go and go and limp down the hall to go back to sleep, you will be able to hear my muscles strain. Just like, okay, here I go. Get in that back.
Well, make sure you allow time to get to your appointment.
Well, yeah, but how am I going to, I'm going to climb on a motorcycle. I'm going to be on this giant horse, and I'm going to be, and it would be hard for me to walk from the motorcycle to the hot springs.
Oh, you need a second small motorcycle, more of an assistive device to just get you around.
I need a second smaller motorcycle.
You need a ruggedized rascal.
Yeah, a ruggedized rascal.
And now that could be 3 wheels, and that would be kind of cool,
I'm going to, so here we go, right? It's another one of these things where it's like, all right, well, because it always boils down to the question of, what are you going to do? Not do it?
Well, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? Not do it?
Well, I wouldn't know.
Gregor wants to make wood-fired pizza for you out on the playa, and all you have to do is ride a motorcycle for 9 days. What are you going to do?
Keep an eye on that guy when he wakes up in the morning, by the way. Okay. Don't break a leg. Don't die.
Don't break a leg.
Don't suffocate on a motorcycle.
This is one of these don't break a leg moments.
No, well, this is definitely going to be one of those fill out your card, because how does John perish by October 11th?
No.
Well, it could be a buffalo.
They're right behind you. Buffalo.
They're right behind you. Anyway, stay safe.
Don't fuck up. Don't fuck up. Don't fuck up. Don't fuck up.
Don't fuck up.